All right. So we've got some notes on two-way tables. Camden, turn around, please. So a two-way table. So we talked about frequency tables in the last one when we were making histograms. So a two-way table is just a frequency table that displays data collected from one place that belongs to two categories. Okay, another way, this is probably the easier way to think of it, is like a two-way table is a two-question survey. The two questions determine the labels. Okay, right here, like these labels. And the possible answers label the rows and the columns. No, this is not on the quiz. Okay, this will be on our next quiz after this one. Yeah, usually have two per chapter.
Wait, what we just did, will that be on the quiz?
That's two-way table stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so if we're thinking about, I want to go back to my ones I was showing you. If we're thinking about the fact that a two-way table could be a survey, I gotta find my document. Okay, what would the survey questions have been for this? Like, think about a survey comes up and Google survey thing. I don't remember what you call it. What would they have said? What was the first question? Yeah, of these three, which do you prefer? Cupcake, ice cream, or candy bar? That's what would have been the first question. What would the second question have been? Yeah, what grade level, right? So are you elementary, middle school, or high school? So you can see that it divides it into two things. Let's look at this one. Let's go back to the Titanic. What would have been the first question that they were asking about various people? Did you survive or not survive? Obviously, we can't ask them did not survive. But so as they're doing historical research, they're looking at their passenger list and they're saying, did they survive or did they not survive? What was the other question they were asked?
Were they in first, second,
third? What class were they traveling, for second or third class? Okay, let's look at this one. What? There we go. What's the first question they would have asked? Do you want a dog or a cat? Right? What kind of pet? What would be the other one? Freshman or sophomore. So you can see that you can imagine that this is like a survey. And if you can read it and think, oh, this is a survey, you're asking me a question that I'm giving you two answers to, then that's really what we're working on here. Okay, is a question or a survey that has two answers. So in this one, so here's our two-way table. The survey questions would have been what? Do you own a car? Okay, do you own a car? And then what gender? Okay, so what I would like you to do is see, since we've already talked about this on our whiteboards, see what if you can answer these three questions for me. Okay, so tell me, I know you guys are going to be good on these first two for sure. What does the 54 mean? Males who have a car. How about the 137? Females who don't have a car. Right? 137. Yeah, if you saw the other one, you were looking at 136. Okay, now, how many total people took this survey?
I got 372, but I know
372 is correct. How do we get that 372? Add them all up, right? Because these are the only choices that we have reported to us. That's all that people answered. So 372 is what we've got. Now, here's a term for you. It's called a marginal frequency. Okay, so marginal frequencies, I guess it should be plural frequencies. Marginal frequencies are the sums of each row and column and then the final total. Okay, so marginal frequencies. You guys, I don't know if you know this, just because I don't know the things that you know, but when you have a piece of paper, I'm guessing you know this, but when you have a piece of paper, what is this called over here? Over here, past the pink lines. It's called the margin, right? So a margin is something that's on the sides or the edges of something. Okay, so there's a top and a bottom margin. If you guys have to format a paper at all in your English class or any other class, you have to set the margins. So marginal frequencies are the ones around the edges. So let's do this. So here, if we want to find the marginal frequencies, I would add these guys up, and this would give me totals here. Total and total. So if we add down this first one, what number is the total? 99, indeed. What does that tell us? 99 what? People who own a car, right? People who own a car, because that's own a car, and the yes is 99 people own a car. Okay, I want you to find this one. What do you get? 273. What is that? People who don't have a car. No, just pause a second and add these up. Just the bottom. What do you get? Which is the total. Okay, now I want you to add across. Okay, top row, add across. What do you get? 190. Okay, add second row across. 82? 182. Now, add those two numbers together. Also 372. Now listen, this is really important. People do this all the time. Don't do this. Sometimes if I leave this blank and say find the total, people add up all of them. Okay? Why is that wrong? Okay, but how do you know it's wrong then? How would you know it was wrong? Because 372 is the total instead of 700 and whatever it would be. Okay, here's the other reason. I want you to think about this. If I'm adding here, I'm adding 54 and 136, right? And if I'm adding here, I'm adding 45 and 137. Okay, that's all the numbers I got on 372. If I add here, I'm adding 54 again, and I'm adding 136 again. So if I do that, I'm double counting everything. Right? I'm adding 54 here, and I'm adding 54 here. So you can only choose, if you're going to add from the totals, you can only choose one to do, the rows or the columns. Okay? Because it's the total across or it's the total down. Now, what does this 182 mean? Total? Yeah, total females. And if we're talking about a survey, it's 182 females who answered the question. Okay, so what I want you to do is flip it over. Okay, so what we've got here, I'd like you to find the marginal frequencies for both of these. Okay, I'd like you to find the marginal frequencies, which are the ones around the outside. Okay, that's all that means. It's a big word, but marginal frequencies. I'd like you to find the ones around the outside. Well, on both. Find marginal frequencies on both of them, please. The bottom total. Just like this. You gotta get that there. One or the other. Or add up all four in the middle. Hey, if you, well, I can't even say that. I want to go ahead and put your calculator back. I'll give you a half a minute tomorrow to finish this, and then we will continue with two-way tables after our quiz.